What does it mean when something is controversial? That single word, controversy, can evoke passion, conflict, and curiosity all in one. At its core, a controversy arises when people with opposing views clash over ideas, beliefs, or actions. But it's more than just an argument. It's a moment where society confronts itself. Controversy thrives wherever humans have differing perspectives. History is filled with it. Think about Galileo in the 1600s, who dared to say that the Earth revolves around the sun. Back then, this wasn't just a bold statement. It was heresy. His ideas shook the foundations of science and religion and sparked furious debates that lingered for decades. And yet, his controversial stance led to a revolution in our understanding of the universe. Fast forward to today, and controversies unfold daily, fueled by social media's speed and reach. From political ideologies to cultural conversations, our news feeds are cluttered with topics that divide people. Just think about debates over climate change, gender identity, freedom of speech, or artificial intelligence. The subjects are endless. They're complicated, emotional, and personal, but they all spark one thing: conversation. But let's pause and ask, why does controversy exist in the first place? The truth is, humans are wired for disagreement. We come from varied experiences, cultures, and values, which means our views don't always align. And when something challenges our beliefs, it feels personal, like our identity is being questioned. Controversy is the result of that tension. Yet, here's the paradox. As divisive as controversy can be, it's also a catalyst for change. When people argue passionately, they're shedding light on what matters most to them. These tensions force society to examine itself. What do we stand for, and what are we willing to fight for? Without controversy, there would be no progress. Take civil rights as an example. In the mid-20th century, figures like Martin Luther King Jr. were at the center of massive controversies. Peaceful protests were met with violent backlash, and the nation was divided. But those tough conversations? They paved the way for legislation and change that shaped the world we live in today. Of course, controversy has its downsides. Not every debate leads to solutions. Sometimes it stirs more harm than good, feeding polarization, misinformation, and bitterness. That's why how we engage with it matters. It's not about silencing differing voices, but learning to listen, question, and empathize. So what does controversy mean? It's the friction that sparks innovation, the mirror that reflects our values, and the test of how we handle the complexity of human experience. Embrace it, not as something to fear, but as something to learn from, because every great story begins with a little disagreement.